welcome to my channel. My name's Sabrina, and today I'm filming my fourth part of my 4-part series, Disney Ranked. Sorry, I almost said Epcot Ranked, but that's not what this episode is about. This episode is the grand finale, and I left the biggest park for the last park, and today we're talking about Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom is a very, very big park. It has a lot of rides and a lot of attractions, and so there's a lot that goes into this ranking. With that being said, I only want to keep this to the actual rides, so I'm not going to do any attractions, no character meet and greets, no like tiki room type things, only things that move. That's how I'm categorizing this ride ranking. So if it doesn't move, then it's not in this. At a later time, I might film a attractions ranked and just do like all of those, but for right now I just want to keep it to rides. Also, I'm filming outside, so we do have some neighbors and stuff, so if you hear some random screaming, I'm sorry in advance, but it is a beautiful day outside and we are practicing social distancing and we are at a stay-at-home order, so we're at home and we're just making it work. So without further ado, let's get into this. We have 24, I have my list right here. I have 24 rides ranked. I'm gonna start from my least favorite and work all the way down to my most favorite. So starting off with my least favorite at number 24 is Astro Orbiter. I'm gonna keep my description for all these rides very brief because we have a lot, but Astro Orbiter, I don't like it. It scares me and I don't like being up that high. And when we were little, my sister actually tried to jump out of that ride when we were riding it, so I feel like it's a little traumatic. Next, number 23, Haunted Mansion. Oh boy, another one because I'm just kind of a baby with rides, that this one just scares me and creeps me out. I've never really been a fan of it. So I know a lot of people, there's a lot of like fandom surrounding this ride, and there's a lot of like merch and all this stuff, and people are like big Haunted Mansion people, but I can genuinely say that I'm kind of terrified of the ride even to this day. So number 22, Mad Tea Party. Again, this one's not a bad ride, it's just really not one of my favorites. I'm not a big fan of the spinning, I guess. It's a classic and I think everybody should ride it at least once, but it's not high up there for me. Number 21, Prince Charming's Carousel. Again, it's a classic, but it's not high up there for me. I'm kind of ranking these on ones that if I go to the park, I want to ride, I want to get a fast pass for. And Prince Charming's Carousel, I mean, I like the ride and it's fun, and again, I think everybody should do it at least once, but it's not really my thing. But I do know that sometimes you can get lucky and ride it with like characters and stuff, so if you can do that, that's pretty fun. Number 20, the Magic Carpets of Aladdin, and then number 19 is Dumbo, and those are kind of the same feel. They're classics. Again, these are rides that when I have kids, I want to ride with them, and I think that everybody should get to ride them at least once, but they're not really something that I'm gonna, make sure that I ride every time I go, or that I'm gonna try to get a fast pass for. They're just kind of in the middle, Number 18, Carousel Progress. I actually really like this ride, and again, this ranking isn't to say that I hate all these rides and just because it's not in my top 5 that I hate this ride and I don't want to ride it. It's just my order of if I'm there, what am I prioritizing? And the Carousel Progress is another one that I try to do at least every few months just to kind of, we got some wind. At least every few months just because it's a fun one, and when it's hot outside, it's nice to hang out in there. But yeah, it's just kind of one of those that once you've seen it, you kind of already know what's gonna happen, but it is a good break from the heat, I will say that. Okay, number 17 is the Liberty Square Riverboat, and this one has been undergoing a lot of like refurbishments and it's been closed on and off, but it is a really fun time. I have ridden it many times, and it's one of those where there is kind of there's a ride and there's something going on, but it's a lot more individual. You're on this boat and you can walk around and you can see all of the stuff. You can see Thunder Mountain going on. They take you around the water, and it's just really fun, and I like experiences that you can kind of do it multiple times and you can have a new experience every time, and so yeah, that one's definitely not one that I do very often. I can't really think of the last time that I rode it, but I think that one's a lot of fun, and it's not necessarily a break from the heat, but it is kind of a break from just rides. There's not really a line for it. You can just kind of hop on that, sit on there, and just enjoy the water and the day in the park. Okay, number 16 is Tom Sawyer's Island, and the reason that I'm categorizing this as a ride is because you do take a boat ride over to the actual island, and I think that that's really fun. I like riding in it. It's kind of a funky little square raft situation. Uh-oh, sorry guys. We've got a garbage truck. They're a little late today. I like riding in that little square raft, and I think it's really fun. And Tom Sawyer's Island is really fun. So yeah, that one's kind of an in-between, but you do ride a boat to get there, so I'm calling it a ride. Okay, next is number 15, the Walt Disney World Railway. Now, this one is a really fun time. I am counting this as a ride because it is a moving vehicle that you board and you get on and then you move and then you get off. So that is why it's on here. This one's fun. I remember when I was younger and my sister was younger, we have a pretty big age gap. We have about 6 years. So there would be times where we just needed to take a break and just kind of hang out. And so we would just kind of sit on the railway and just like ride it for like 30 minutes. 14 is It's a Small World, and this one is a ride that I just kind of feel indifferent about, and that's why it's kind of in the middle. I like it. I don't not like it. I don't ride it every time, but I think it's a great ride. And that's pretty much it with that one. And then number 13 is The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Another one. I like the ride. I have fond memories on the ride. I enjoy the little Tigger section where you bounce. It's a fun ride. I don't ride it every time, but I definitely ride it at least like once every 2 months, and I enjoy it. Let's see, number 12, the Barnstormer. I love the Barnstormer. That one's a fun one. I think that's for a lot of people their first like roller coaster ride. And so I know that one holds a lot for a lot of people. So I really like the Barnstormer, and I think when I do have kids, that'll probably be their first roller coaster. I know that it was my fiance's first roller coaster, and so I think that'd be a fun little tradition to have. Okay, number 11 is the Tomorrowland Speedway. This one is super fun, and I think every kid and everybody that grew up going to Walt Disney World can agree that the Tomorrowland Speedway is a huge, just a point of, you feel so grown up when you get to drive your own car. It's like a turning point in your childhood when you can finally be in charge of like driving your own car. I remember when I was little and like I couldn't reach the pedal and I just wasn't big enough, and so my mom would like push down the gas for me and I would just kind of like steer. But I just remember like when I finally could do it myself, it's just so exciting, and just something about driving that car is just, it's nostalgic. So I really, really like that one. I haven't ridden it in a while. Again, I think it's been they've been doing some refurbishments on it, and I know that they are building Tron in that area, so I don't know if that's changing. But that one's really a good one, and that's why it's kind of high up there for me. Under the Sea with Little Mermaid is my number 10, and this one is my number 10 because this ride is the best for beating the heat. Like, unprecedented in my opinion. It is the coldest ride in Walt Disney World, and I don't know if I'm just saying this because I always happen to get a fast pass for this and ride it when I am like dying of heat and I just need air so badly, but this one is a safe one that you can pretty much always get a same day fast pass for. At least I've always been able to, and just kind of when the day is starting to get to you and you can just kind of hang out on this ride. It's fun, the music's fun, the animatronics are awesome. It's a good time, and you will cool off on this ride. Number 9 is Peter Pan's Flight. This one, I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it. I really, really like it, and I just love the flying. I think it's just so cool to look down and see all these incredible, intricate scenes and just kind of like coast over them. I just hate that it's always such a long wait. It's so hard to get on this ride unless you have a fast pass. I think I've only done standby like a handful of times, if even that. Except I think I've actually really only done standby for this ride when I went to Mickey's Not So Scary, and it was pretty much a walk-on because it was a party and there weren't a lot of people in lines. That one's a really fun one, and I know a lot of people really, really enjoy it, and that's why the line's so long. But yeah, that one's a good fast pass one if you can grab it. Number 8 is Jungle Cruise / Jingle Cruise. I love the Jingle Cruise. Every year during the holidays, the Jungle Cruise gets a holiday overlay, and it is the Jungle Cruise turned into the Jingle Cruise, and I love it so much. I think it's so funny. I love the corny jokes. I love all the animatronics. It's just a fun ride, and I think that, I don't know, it's kind of tied with the Jingle Cruise and the Jungle Cruise. I think they can just go together as one thing. And I'm really excited for the Jungle Cruise movie with The Rock. I love The Rock so much. He's one of my favorites, obvious reasons, and I'm so excited for him to be doing a movie in the Jungle Cruise. It's gonna be awesome. I know they just pushed it back a little bit more because of all of the stuff going on in the world right now, and I think it's supposed to come out on July 30th, I think, or late July in 2021. It was supposed to come out this year, but it's being pushed back one more year, which is fine, but I'm really excited for that ride to become a movie, if that makes sense. I know it's not going to be the exact same thing, but just the concept I think is really cool. Okay, number 7 is Pirates of the Caribbean. Caribbean. Now I don't know how I say it. Oh, Caribbean? I think it's Caribbean. How do you say it? Do you say Caribbean or Caribbean? Caribbean is choice 1, Caribbean is choice 2. How do you say it? However you say it, I think this ride's really fun. I used to be really scared of the drop on this ride, which I know it's not a big drop, but I wasn't a big thrill seeker when I was younger. I didn't really enjoy like the scary rides or the thrilling rides, so the drop was always kind of scary for me. But I really like this one. I think a lot of people really like this one. It's definitely a classic ride. I really do hope one day to go to Disneyland and get to ride their Pirates, because I know that it is a lot longer and has a lot more detail and a lot, just a more elaborate storyline. So I am really excited to one day go and ride their Pirates. I think that that'll be a really good experience. Okay, number 6 is Splash Mountain. I love Splash Mountain so much. It's one that I don't ride a lot because I just don't like getting wet. I know that you really, in my opinion, from all the water rides that I've ridden at different theme parks and just in general, I don't really ever get that wet on Splash Mountain, but I just don't really like getting wet in general. So this one is definitely a more special occasion ride for me, or if I have a poncho, I am one of those people that wears a poncho on Splash Mountain. I know, I'm lame, but whatever. Okay, number 5. Now we're getting into my top 5. These are the rides that every time I go, I try to ride them. And starting with number 5, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. I literally ride it every time I go to Magic Kingdom. That's my first fast pass that I book. I love this ride so much. I have so many memories when I was younger riding this with my sister and my family, and just we always would ride this ride. And Tomorrowland is kind of like one of my favorite spots in Magic Kingdom. I just feel like that's where we spent a lot of our time when I was younger, so I love it so much. And my goal in life is to become a galactic hero. I have never become a galactic hero before. The closest I've ever come is about 700,000, but my fingers are crossed, and I will one day become a galactic hero and the whole world will hear about it. I can't wait. That's up there for me. Okay, number 4 is the Seven Dwarves Mine Train. This one's a really smooth, fun ride. This one is ranked so high up, not necessarily because of the ride, but because of the experiences that I've had on this ride. This ride is the most incredible to ride during fireworks at night. And the majority of times that I've ridden this have been during fireworks at night. Whenever the fireworks are about to start, this weird thing happens where everybody kind of just hangs out in all of those areas, and the wait times on the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train will still read as very high, but in reality it'll only be like a 20-minute wait and there's really nobody in line. So we always check and see if it's actually, 100-minute wait, or if there's really nobody in line. And you can pretty much walk on it during fireworks, and then riding it during fireworks is incredible because you're right there and you can see the fireworks from the castle, and you can see them from the Beauty and the Beast castle, and it's really cool. Okay, number 3 is Space Mountain. This one I didn't ride until literally I was like 16. I was so scared of it. I thought it went so fast. But Nick convinced me to ride it, and I rode it, and I actually really enjoy it. It does make me a little bit nauseous, I think, just because it's a little disorienting. You're in the dark and it's kind of jerky. But I like this one, and I definitely try to ride it every time that I go. Okay, number 2 is the People Mover. I know it has another name now, but I just can't remember it, and I will always just consider it the People Mover. This one is ranked so highly because I could literally ride it all day, every day, and there's been days where I've gone and we've ridden it like over 5 times. There's even been times where we've asked to stay on it and just kind of ride it out. So I love the People Mover. I hope it never goes away, and it's definitely my go-to. And now for number 1, Thunder Mountain. This one's so fun. This one I definitely have the most childhood memories on. This was like one of the only thrill rides that I would ride when I was younger. So Thunder Mountain is so fun. I think I don't know. I think that riding Thunder Mountain is just, it's a unique experience. It's not like your average roller coaster. It's not even about like all the drops and stuff. It's just so like fun, and it's so themed that you just always have something to look at. And I think a lot of times when you're on a roller coaster, you're kind of just focusing on the thrill of it, and you're not really like looking around or like, oh, what's that or that. And I just love how on Thunder Mountain you can like look, and there's like goats, and there's the railway going by, and there's the water, and like there's so much stuff going on that it's awesome. So yeah, you guys, that's my list. I want to hear in the comments what you guys think, if you agree, if you disagree, what your must rides are, what you're not agreeing with me on, if you love Haunted Mansion and you think I'm crazy for being scared of it, because I know a lot of people think I am. But yeah, and if you haven't seen the other parts of this, I highly encourage you to. I filmed 3 other parts, so I've done all the parks at this point. And I'm really excited to share this with you, and thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned because I have some more fun videos coming out.